Hi, welcome to today's video. My name's Paul. So this is first video in the new watercolor challenge that I'm setting myself for 2021. I did one of these back in September of last year. That went on for 3 weeks. And basically the challenge is every day I'll try to produce at least one painting and at least one YouTube video to go along with that painting. The one thing I took away from that experience last year was that 3 weeks is probably too long. So this time I'm cutting it down and keeping it short. It'll be just 1 week. So today is the 7th of January 2021. So I'll finish the challenge next week on the 14th. As I say, each video will be one painting, and I'll talk about things in the painting that I'm trying to do, but I'll probably also sort of ramble on about other things, kind of like what I'm doing at the moment. The other things will probably be completely unrelated to anything in the painting. They'll just be ideas that happen to be floating around in my head on that day. As far as this painting goes, you can see at the moment I'm using just blues. I've done the sky. I've created a horizon line. I've added in a scratch along there for no good reason other than it seemed like a good idea at the time. I should say that the painting that I'm doing, I'm mostly influenced by Impressionism, but also more abstract art as well, and minimalist art. So I'm not trying to produce an accurate photographic-like representation of a field or a landscape. It's much more abstract. It is a landscape, but it's also an abstract painting. I tend to think of it as not as a binary thing with realism over here and abstract over there. To me, it's more like a spectrum, and some paintings are very photorealistic, and then other paintings are basically abstract paintings. But there's everything in between, and my painting style is somewhere in between, but probably closer to abstract than representational art. So some of these scratches and things and marks that you see me making, some of them are trying to suggest detail, and you'll see this in a second. I start scratching the foreground. Those are to try and create an impression of blades of grass or bushes and things that are growing upwards. But then there's other scratch marks and things that are not there to represent details. They're there just as a part of the abstract pattern or decoration. In terms of colors, and you'll see me using these colors mainly because these are my go-to colors. There's 3 or 4 blues, cadmium yellow, and a light phthalo green. They're all Sennelier colors, so light phthalo green is just the name that they give that particular color. The blues that I'm using, there are 4 of them. I don't necessarily use all of them in every painting, but in terms of values, the lightest one is cerulean blue, then there's a cobalt blue, a French ultramarine blue, and then the darkest one is Prussian blue. The Prussian blue, if you take it straight from the tube undiluted and put it onto the paper, it's almost black. It's very dark. Okay, so this is then the scan of the final painting, and you can see some of those scratch marks. And as I say, some of them are there, especially the whiter ones in the foreground. They're there to sort of suggest details, maybe things like blades of grass and things growing upwards. Other ones are there just as something that I felt like doing at the time, and they're part of the whole sort of abstract image, the design or the pattern, the decoration. They're not there to represent details. And that's just the way I think of painting landscapes. To me, every landscape really is a piece of abstract art, because you're taking a three-dimensional subject and you're pushing it, flattening down onto a two-dimensional surface. So no matter what style of art you use, there's always going to be a degree of abstraction and simplification and distortion. So okay, so this may be a good time to finish today's video, because I'm starting to ramble on about who knows what. So like I say, every day for the next week I'll be producing a video, so hopefully see you in tomorrow's video.